Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. D.L. Hughley posted a memo. Yes. He put out a memo to our community. And that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get. Mm-hmm. Okay? I was contractually signed to go as the headliner.
Right. I mean, you go last.
D.L. Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I had to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting. Right. That is disrespectful to the audience. Correct. When I went out on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me.
Words of wisdom, closing remarks.
Well, you know, I got a couple of things that's on my mind. My closing remarks are going to be seem a little discombobulated, but I haven't really had time to put it together. It's just some thoughts that I've been having. I want to address what's being labeled as comedy beefs. Y'all, comedy was never designed to be this. Comedy is a great art form. It's always been for the best stand-ups to come into people's lives, homes, theaters, and provide just as hard a laughs as we possibly could. As a stand-up, has always been my only goal. This thing that's going around now about comedy beefs, it's only coming really from a few people. It's really not the overall thing. 85 South ain't beefing with nobody. And those are the youngest comedic giants out there. 85 South ain't beefing with nobody. You know, them cats come from the hip-hop culture. What you're seeing, man, in these comedy beefs are people who aren't where they used to be, and all of a sudden are using this thing called comedy beefs as a way to get some light shined on them. That's not what comedy is, man. It's just not. I'm gonna tell you something. Now, I'm not saying any names, but let me explain something to you. I've been in comedy a long time. In my entire career, was there ever a question about who the headliner was? In my entire career. And on my contract, it said I have been headlining clearly since 1995. I have been headlining since 1995. You know, the Kings, we switched up. Like if we went to Chicago, Bernie was closing. We went to St. Louis, Said was closed. We went out to LA, DL closed. Whoever's hometown it was. But we always understood that. One night in Baltimore, Chris Tucker's movie had just came out. It was Fridays and something else that had came out. And my contract said I was a headliner in Baltimore. We got there, me and Chris was sitting up laughing. And the little new promoter, little boy had some money he ain't had no business having. He came in there and said, hey man, I want Chris Tucker to close this show. Chris Tucker had a problem with that. But we talked about it. I said, Chris, he the dude, he wanted that. I told him, I said, look man, as long as you pay me my money, I don't care who closed. Chris Tucker came to me and asked me, hey man, just do me one favor, man. If you're going to go up first, and he got me closing, could you just keep it to 30 minutes? I did 28 minutes exactly. That was the only time in my career. And in my contract, though, I was the headliner. But this dude decided he liked Chris better. I don't care who it is. That was the only dispute. Look, man, it's known beforehand in the tickets, in the contract. There's no such thing as memos and all like that. You have a contract to sign. And that's who the headline is. And read the marquee when you get there. When you pull up at the front of the theater on the marquee, it'll tell you that too. It's all simple. So these beefs that people are having, it's always coming from somebody who ain't where they were. That's all I see in this. I just wanted to put that out there, man, for those of you that's not in the business. That's not how this works, man. It's just not how it works.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So I want to thank y'all for tapping in with me. And we have Steve Harvey, and he has decided to respond to Monique dissing D.L. Hughley, and he sends shots at comedians that are beefing. And he's saying that this ain't real beef. And if you had told me 2023 that this year would be action-packed and it would be a lot of comedians beefing with each other and taking shots at each other, I would have said, hell no. So last year, the comedian scene was quiet. Then Katt Williams decided to sit down with Shannon Sharpe on the Club Shay podcast, and that changed everything. And after that, his interview went viral, and that's when all the fire and hell started. That's when all the comedians started going viral just by taking shots at each other. And the most viral thing Katt Williams said was that a lot of comedians have been stealing jokes from him and also from deceased comedians. But when it comes to Monique, her thing was she's been blacklisted and blackballed in Hollywood. That's what she said. She said that one other person who decided to blackball her was Tyler Perry, and he's of course a powerful figure in the film industry. He has his own studio in ATL and it's worth almost $1 billion. And she said that he blackballed her because she didn't want to do all the things he wanted her to do. And before she was blackballed, she said that she was paid a low salary for each movie that she did. And she also got a lot of backlash because she said she wasn't paid enough from Netflix. And I'm gonna make sure to leave a link to the full interview so you can watch it on the Club Shay podcast. And as of now, Monique and D.L. Hughley are going at each other, throwing shots, and they're disrespecting their family members, wives, daughters, kids. And that's when Judge Greg Mathis said, enough is enough, this needs to stop now. And now Steve Harvey has come out and he said that Monique needs to stop now. And he said, we ain't got no beef. He has been in real beef before, and this ain't it. And Monique, she was actually on his show a couple of years ago. She was on the Steve Harvey show, and they had a lot of things to say to each other. Her thing was, I need to be paid the amount that I'm worth. And he said that you need to learn to move correctly. And they had a big disagreement. And I think the rift that Monique has with Steve Harvey right now, that's where this stems from. That meeting that they had when she went on his platform and did the interview. So, the older generation, they want this to stop. And when I say older generation, that is Judge Greg Mathis and Steve Harvey. And the younger generation, D.L. Hughley, Monique, and Katt Williams, they want this to continue. So I want to know what y'all think. Do you stand with Steve Harvey? Does this need to stop? Or do you want this to continue where comedians diss each other and call out each other and go viral? Let me know.